With millions of migrants and refugees flowing into Europe, there's a new deal in place that aims to ease the strain on European nations. But is it working? I'm Carl Azuz. That's where we're starting today. First, the deal. It's between the nation of Turkey and the 28 countries of the European Union. It aims to take people who've illegally entered the EU country of Greece and deport them to Turkey. To help Turkey deal with the additional migrants, the EU will pay Turkey billions of dollars and give it political privileges. Most of the people seeking asylum in Europe are from war-torn Syria. And for every Syrian who's deported to Turkey under the new deal, Turkey will send one Syrian who's been investigated and approved to Europe to be resettled, up to 72,000 people. There are concerns about the deal. Human rights group Amnesty International says Turkey is secretly breaking the law and forcing refugees back to Syria. Turkey says that's untrue and that it has an open-door policy to refugees. Also, it's possible the deal could just cause migrants to take different routes to get into Europe, or just head for Greece anyway.
It's in these waters that thousands of migrants have risked their lives. Men, women, and children have died trying to reach that coastline. That's Greece. To them, it represents the beginning of a European dream. But for over 200 migrants today, predominantly from Afghanistan and Pakistan, the reality is in the other direction, and that is Turkey. They were deported there today, and authorities trying to send the message that irregular migrants are no longer welcome on these shores. They're no longer welcome in the European Union, and if they risk their lives and spend their money to get here, they will simply be sent back. But the real question here is, are potential migrants listening, especially when you consider what you see just over there? See that orange speck just along the coastline? Those are life jackets from newly arrived migrants. And the Greek police released the numbers overnight. Over 300 migrants arrived just in the last 24 hours. Compare that to just over 200 deported. More are arriving still than are being deported. And that is a big problem because the success of the deal between the European Union and Turkey depends on stemming the tide of migrants into Greece. Aaron McLaughlin, CNN, Lesvos, Greece.
With exactly 4 months until the 2016 Summer Olympics begin, Brazil has a number of unique challenges to address, and it looks like ticket sales could be one of them. About half the tickets are sold. The country's former Minister of Sports recently quit his job. The new one is looking at ways to fill the seats, and he says giving some to Brazilian school children may be an option. For perspective, the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, UK sold out. The 2014 Winter Games in Sochi, Russia were about 80% sold when the games opened. Will sales increase in Rio de Janeiro? Well, like previous places that hosted the games, there are concerns about whether the venues will be ready. Unlike previous places, Brazilian lawmakers are considering whether to impeach the president. The country's economy is in its worst recession in a quarter century, and athletes and health experts are concerned about the mosquito-transmitted Zika virus, which is widespread in Brazil. Here are 3 of the hundreds of requests we received on yesterday's transcript page. That's at cnnstudentnews.com. First up, Milton High School. It's in the northeastern state of Vermont. The Yellow Jackets are buzzing in Milton. Just a couple states away in Pennsylvania, we're making a stop in Philadelphia. Abraham Lincoln High School is the home of the Rail Splitters. And jumping across the Atlantic, we're traveling to the Netherlands. Hello to everyone at Doornweert College in Doorweert. Up in the air, there are more people flying than ever before. A new report is out from Airports Council International. It's an organization that has connections in more than 1,800 airports in 173 countries. And it says the world's busiest airport is Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International here in Georgia, though the airport itself says it would prefer the term most traveled. The ACI says Hartsfield is within a 2-hour flight of 80% of the U.S. population, and that more than 100 million airline passengers passed through in 2015. Beijing Capital International Airport is the second on the list. Third place, Dubai International Airport. So people are flying all over the place, and flight crews are needed to get them there. What's it like to spend a workday in the sky?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Those passengers traveling on flight number 10 with service to Memphis. If I have any passengers holding a blue pre-board authorization card, you may board this time for flight number 10 with service to Memphis out of gate mark C12.
Thank you. Have a good day.
morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Air Train Airways Flight 10 with service to Memphis.
Good morning.
It's Selena Hirschelbusch Jr., so she gets to do the announcements. And I'm R1, so I get to do the demo, and I'm called the runner. We're on a 4-day trip. We start in Atlanta. We end in Jacksonville tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Memphis. The turnaround time is 40 minutes, sometimes 30.
The big thing I'm concerned with is getting more gas on the airplane. Because without fuel it doesn't run too good. So that'll be about 1,500 gallons we'll put on the airplane. And we'll burn 5,000 pounds going over there. So we'll burn about 900 gallons of gas going from here to Atlanta.
We've had a half an hour on the ground. We're headed back to Atlanta. There you go. Coffee? I like working the shorter flights because you're busy the whole time. So it doesn't seem like you're forever on the plane because you're down, you're up, so you're working the whole time. Take anything? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atlanta. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened. Have a nice day. Hello. So this is our caterer. The cleaner just came on and made sure everything was nice and fresh and stocked in the lavatories and got some new seats for unknown issues that we won't discuss any further. Ladies and gentlemen, the flight time to Jacksonville, Florida this afternoon is 53 minutes. It will be a very short flight. Our day is almost over with. We are on our last leg to Jacksonville, and that was 3 altogether. And we left a nice note for the next crew. We just make sure they have at least one full cart, so they don't have to worry about getting on here and stocking the cart for service. We just make sure everything's neat where it's supposed to be, and that's about it. On behalf of this flight crew and AirTran and Southwest Airways, we'd like to welcome you to Jacksonville.
Yeah, we're done. We're 3 legs today and we're done. We're going to go to the hotel, we're going to work out, get a bite to eat, and go to hit the sack and do it again tomorrow. This is just the standard way to leave it. We're ready for the next guys. We do give them a quick brief if there's something that the plane's acting a little bit different. A lot of times just focus on what the weather was like. And they'll put the new flight plan in and get it ready to go while they're fueling up and swapping the bags out, swapping the passengers out.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is AirTran Airways Flight 339 now departing for Atlanta.
On behalf of this flight crew and AirTran Airways, welcome to Atlanta.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is AirTran Airways Flight number 164 now departing for Indianapolis. Good evening and welcome aboard.
Food service is great. If there's no turbulence, you're really good with the car. Turbulence, you got to be careful because you're kind of rocking and rolling with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indianapolis. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign and has parked us at the gate.
Basically, in between every stop, we do a walk around of the aircraft. It's not as intense as the first one of the morning. We just check for leaks, tire damage, any damage that the ground crew might have done, or bird strikes, landing strikes, whatever. Just looking for anything out of the ordinary. Everything looks good today.
We are now going from Indianapolis back to Atlanta. It is this plane's 6th flight of the day. The plane is very tired. Very last flight, hopefully, for the day for this aircraft.
Anyone training in law enforcement would expect that a police chase could become part of the job. They might not expect that police would be chasing this. That small, black, rodent-looking thing on San Francisco's Bay Bridge, that's a Chihuahua. He took off Sunday morning, and though police set up roadblocks, the plucky puppy just ran around him. Eventually, police were able to box him in. They took him to a shelter, named him Punch, which some of your teachers will get, and they're waiting on his owner to come pick him up. And the owner will probably ask, Chihuahua, what were you thinking? A police chase? You're in hot Chihuahua water. Small breed breeds big danger. You're barking up the wrong bridge. But if you're in hot pursuit of attention, Chihuahua, what a way to get it. I'm Carl Azus. That's our show.